This planet is breathing, and we just heard it. 49 light years away, a small rocky world drifted across the face of its star, and buried in that starlight, astronomers caught something no human being had ever seen: a shadow at a single wavelength, the chemical fingerprint of air. Understand what that means. For the first time ever, we found an atmosphere on a rocky planet in the habitable zone of another star. Not a gas giant, not a ball of lava, a world the right size at the right distance for liquid water, with a sky. But here's the part the headlines are burying. 1 year later, astronomers aimed the same telescope at the same planet, and the signal was gone. As if the world had simply stopped breathing. Nobody can explain it. This is LHS 1140b, a planet of endless ice hiding one warm sea, 2,500 miles wide, staring up at its sun like a giant unblinking eye. In the next 10 minutes, you'll see how we caught its breath, why it checks every box on the list for life, and why its sudden silence may be the most unsettling clue of all. Because for years, we had this planet completely wrong. When it first appeared in 2017, LHS 1140b was a line in a catalog, one of thousands. A network of small telescopes called M-Earth noticed a dim star in the constellation Cetus flickering. It dimmed by a fraction of a percent, then brightened. Every 24.7 days, like clockwork, a planet passing in front of its star. Astronomers filed it under probably a dead rock, and they had every reason to. The star is a red dwarf, 5 times smaller than our sun, glowing a dim reddish orange. Stand on the planet's surface, and even high noon would look like dusk. And red dwarfs have a reputation. In their youth, they rage, flares, X-rays, storms of charged particles that strip the air off a planet like skin. For decades, the rule was simple. Worlds around red dwarfs are sterilized. Don't waste telescope time. But this star broke the rule. LHS 1140 is old, billions of years old, and it is almost impossibly calm. 3 billion years with barely a flare. 3 billion years of silence, which raised a question that kept astronomers awake. If the star stayed quiet all that time, could its planet have kept the one thing every other world loses? Hold that question. First, you need to meet the planet. It's stranger than you think. LHS 1140b is a super-Earth, about 1.7 times wider than our world and 5.5 times heavier. Here's what that feels like. Gravity there is nearly double ours. If you weigh 180 pounds, you'd feel like you weighed 340. Every step, like climbing stairs with a sack of concrete on your back. A fall wouldn't just hurt you, it could break you. And a year there lasts 25 days. While Earth makes one trip around the sun, this world circles its star almost 15 times. But that's not the strange part. The planet sits so close to its star that gravity has locked it in place. The same way our moon always shows Earth one face, this planet always shows its sun one side. Half of it lives in eternal day, the sun nailed to one spot in the sky, motionless forever. The other half is eternal night, a darkness that hasn't ended in billions of years. No sunrise has ever happened there. None ever will. And between them, wrapping around the entire planet, runs a thin ring of permanent twilight where the star sits frozen on the horizon. If you could stand anywhere on this world without freezing or burning, it's on that line. A planet where the comfort zone is a border you could walk. Now, the number that changes everything. The planet's average temperature is around 53 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. A freezer the size of a world. Case closed, right? Except the planet is too light. When astronomers weighed it, the density came back wrong. Too low for solid rock and iron. Something inside takes up enormous space while weighing almost nothing. And the best candidate is water. The models say 10 to 20% of this planet's entire mass could be water. Let that sink in. All of Earth's water, every ocean, every glacier, every drop of rain adds up to 0.02% of Earth's mass. This world may carry hundreds of times more. An ocean dozens of miles deep, wrapped around a rocky core, a frozen ocean, remember, 53 below. But here's where the physics does something beautiful. The planet faces its star with one side, so all that dim red warmth pours into a single point, the dead center of the day side, century after century, for billions of years. And if an atmosphere traps even a little of that heat, the ice at that one point cannot survive. That's how the eye is born. A circular opening in the ice, roughly 2,500 miles across. The distance from New York to Los Angeles. Liquid water, and by some models close to 68 degrees near the center. Warmer than the sea off a California beach. One open ocean on an entire frozen world, gazing up at a red sun that never moves. Forget the fear for a moment. Picture floating there, still, dark water, a dim crimson star hanging overhead, fixed in place while the rest of the planet sleeps under ice. It might be one of the most beautiful places in the galaxy. Liquid water, stable warmth, billions of years of calm. That's not an interesting planet. That's the checklist for life. But this entire picture rested on one small word. If there's an atmosphere. No air means no trapped heat. No trapped heat means no eye. Just a dead white marble. And proving that a rocky, habitable zone planet has air had never been done. Not once, for any planet, anywhere. So how did they finally do it? Here's where this story becomes a thriller. LHS 1140b has a neighbor, Planet C. A small scorched world hugging the star so tightly that its whole year lasts under 4 days. A background character, until one night it became the key. September 23, 2024. Las Campanas Observatory, high in the Chilean Andes. Bolted to the giant Magellan telescope is a new instrument called WINARED, a spectrograph that slices infrared light with surgical precision. And on this one night, the universe stages a perfect experiment. Both planets cross the face of their star almost together, just 39 minutes apart. 2 worlds, 1 star, 1 instrument. The hot little planet C crossed first. The starlight stayed clean, bare rock, no air, nothing. Then planet B crossed, and the shadow appeared. Helium, streaming off the planet, torn loose by the star's X-rays, trailing into space like breath on cold glass. The team spent months trying to kill their own discovery. 2 independent pipelines. Every error they could imagine, the signal held. And on July 16, 2026, the journal Science told the world. A leaking planet sounds like a catastrophe. It's the opposite. It may be the best news in the history of the search for life. Because if something is escaping, there is something there to escape. After 3 billion years under a red dwarf, this world is still holding its air, and the helium is probably just the top floor. Beneath it, the models point to heavier gases, possibly water vapor, the exact blanket a warm eye in the ice needs to exist. Every piece was finally on the table. A quiet star, a world of water, an atmosphere, One warm sea staring upward, and then the planet went silent. In 2025, the team looked again. Same telescope, same instrument, same method. The helium was gone. Not weaker, gone. Maybe the leak simply stopped. Maybe it turned invisible to our instruments. Perhaps the star changed its mood. Or something is happening on that world that we don't even have a name for yet. They checked the data every way they could. The answer never changed. In 2024, the planet was exhaling. In 2025, it wasn't. To this day, nobody knows why. 49 light years. The light hitting our telescopes tonight left that planet in the late 1970s before the internet existed. Our fastest spacecraft would need close to 1 million years to make the trip. We cannot go there. We may never go. But something has changed forever. For the first time, when we look at a distant rocky world in the zone of life, we're not seeing a dot on a chart. We're seeing a place, a sky, a sea, and somewhere out there under a red sun that never sets, a warm and lonely ocean may be rippling in the dark, an eye that has stared at the same point in space for 3 billion years. The only question left is whether anything stares back. But LHS 1140b isn't the strangest whisper we've pulled from deep space. That title belongs to K218b, a planet whose entire ocean might be alive. And the gas our telescope smelled in its air is much harder to explain.